Welcome to Ribbon. This is C# tutorial for beginners, and we're working with arithmetics and operators. Now, I have to go through this pretty fast. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. Arithmetic with operators is just mathematics and understanding the basically order of operation. And you should understand algebra. If you don't know algebra, I suggest you go to a math class or take a math course on algebra. So let's talk about the operators. Operators are basically addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus. And operators are assigned with a symbol. We know that addition is plus and subtraction is minus, multiplication is times. Now, the form is the important part of it. So if you look where it says form and underneath that you see x plus y, well, it's basically saying variable x plus variable y, or integer x plus integer y. Okay, so let's scroll down and look at the example. We have integer x equals 10 and integer y equals 4. Okay, and for our method we have the argument x minus y. So it's basically saying x 10 minus y 4, and that's going to output to 6. Very easy to understand. So just play around with this and put in different symbols like plus or subtraction. Okay, so let's move to the next section. Let's move to the next question. Okay, it says fill in the blanks to display the result of multiplication of x and y. So we have to find the result, and we must multiply x by y. So I'm going to stop the video and let you answer this. Okay, so if we put this in the Visual Studio, we're supposed to be multiplying x by y. So we know we're missing something right here, and we're missing the multiplication symbol, all right? And it's going to execute this 42 times 7, and it's going to store the result in variable z. So we want to print out z, and we're going to use the console write line method. So it's missing inside this parentheses the variable that we want to print out, and that would be z. So if we debug this, we should get an answer. Okay, so the debug work, as you see, we get in the result, and it's 294. So let's go back to SolarLearn, and we should put multiplication sign, and we should put z in the parentheses. Okay, and it worked. So the next section is division. I'm going to highlight this, and I want you to read this, and I'm going to stop and come back. Okay, now that you've read that, you should understand that division is very similar to multiplication and addition. The only thing with division is it drops the remainder. So it's basically, in this problem below, it's printing out variable x, which is 10 divided by 4. Well, it's going to output 2, but that's not the answer. I mean, that is the answer, but that's not what 10 divided by 4 is. 10 divided by 4 is 2.5. It doesn't print out the remainder. So anything after the period, it's not going to print it out. So if we typed in 20 divided by 7, it's not going to print this out. It's only going to print out the whole integer 2. So that is division, right? So hope that's easy to understand. Division works the same way. It's just not going to print out anything after the period. Okay, so let's work on to the next question. And it says, what is the output of this code? X is 16, Y is 5. And it's telling you to divide this. So I'm going to stop this and come back and answer it. Okay, so I'm back. So it's basically saying x divided by y. So 16 divided by 5. We go into a calculator and we type in 16 divided by 5. We get 3.2. But we know we can't use this 0.2, so it's left with 3, the whole number of 3. Okay. Alright. On to the next section. Okay, now we're talking about modulus. Like I said before, this is mathematics, and the modulus symbol is the percentage symbol. So you should read all of this. I'm going to stop and pause the video. Okay, now that you've done reading all that, modulus is just the remainder. Okay, it's just the remainder, and that happens after division. So in this problem down here, 25 modulus symbol and then the 7 will be 25 divided by 7, and you'll be finding the remainder. So the remainder of 25 divided by 7 is going to be 4. Okay. Again, if you don't understand what or how to calculate a remainder, you can go to YouTube and search up how to calculate a remainder. Okay. Again, this stuff is very easy. So let's move to the next section. It says which is used to determine the remainder. Okay, which symbol? Okay. Well, we know it's the percentage symbol, the modulus symbol. Okay, operator precedence. Okay. I'm going to highlight this, and you should read this, and I'm going to stop and pause the video. Okay, so operator precedence is basically doing the importance first. So we know that multiplication has a higher precedence than addition. So we do the multiplication first. In this case, it will be 3 times 2. Okay, and we know 3 times 2 is 6. And then we do 4 plus 6, and that's going to equal to 10. And our console right line method is going to print out variable x, and variable x would be 10. Okay, so just try this out for yourself. Copy and paste this into Visual Studio and just replace some of the operators and try to guess the number before it's actually entered, before you get the result. Okay, so it's just the importance first in an equation, and this is algebra. So we do parentheses first, and then we do the multiplication. So we do anything inside the parentheses first, then we work our way out. Okay, so 4 plus 3 is 7, and then 7 times 2 will be 14. Okay, I hope that's easy to understand. You should read all of this down here. I'm going to stop and pause the video. Okay, so also operators of equal precedence are evaluated from left to right. So that could be 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. It's going to go from left to right. So it's going to calculate the left of that, and then it's going to work its way to the right. All right, so let's go to our last question. It says fill in the missing parentheses to have x equal 15. So we need to put parentheses. Okay, so it says blank 2 plus 3 blank times 3. So if we put the parentheses around 2 plus 3, we should have 5, and 5 times 3 should equal to 15, and a console right line method should print that out. So in order to do that in Visual Studio, here's our problem, and we just need to put parentheses around 2 and 3, and for our method argument we're going to put x, and we're going to debug. Okay, and as you can see, we get 15, so we know that that is right. Okay, and that's it for arithmetic operators. I suggest you go back through here and just understand how to do mathematics and using these operators, and just practice through these. Okay, division, modulus. All right, so the next section is assignments and increment operators.